If the bread you're buying says whole wheat on it, it might not be. You need to make sure it says 100% whole wheat on it. And there's a reason for that. It has to do with legality and the way that they phrase things. The first ingredient on your loaf of bread, if you're looking for real whole wheat bread, should be 100% whole wheat flour. Wheat flour is not the same as 100% whole wheat flour. Wheat flour can be white flour because it's flour that's made from wheat. So there's kind of a little tongue twisting curve in there. You need to, I shouldn't say tongue twisting, that's not what I'm trying to say, but you get the picture. It's a kind of a play on words. White flour is wheat flour because it's not oat flour, it's not soy flour, it's wheat flour, but it's not 100% whole wheat flour. So you're not getting the whole grain of wheat in there. And a whole grain, like the grain of wheat, little tiny grain of wheat, has the outside is the bran. That's the part that helps you in your digestive tract to keep things moving. The germ contains sweet germ oil in it and all kinds of nutrients in the whole grain. And then the endosperm is the part that is basically white flour. If this it's a seed, a grain of wheat is a seed. It's a grass, it's in the grass family, and when it sprouts, it uses the energy in the endosperm, which is the white flour part of the grain, to create the new little plant and sprout roots and grow into a stalk of wheat that will have 18, 20, 25 or more kernels of wheat in each little stalk. So, having said that, let's talk about whole wheat versus white. In a perfect world, we'd all be eating all whole grain products and we'd be eating for fresh fruits and vegetables and we'd be abstaining from meat as much as possible and we would be eating things fresh from the garden. And we all strive for that, I'm sure. We all would like to eat perfectly healthy and we'd all like to be at a perfect weight. But we're not in a perfect world, and there's very few people I know who can do that. I will say, and this is going to sound very cruel, this is really going to sound cruel, but it seems like the friends that I've had over the years that had to do everything perfectly, had to have everything, great nutrition, no white flour, no sugar, no uh, no processed foods, no deep frying, none of that kind of stuff. And the people who have really, really been diligent at it and had all their focus on it ended up sick and dead in a lot of cases, or sick and dead, or sick or dead. One of the two, sick and then dead, or just sick, I guess I should say. And I hate to sound so cruel, but I think that even more important than is everything whole grain and is everything fresh and organic and that kind of thing, which is great to strive for that. But I think it puts an image in your brain of the monster is out there and it's going to get you. You know, the monster is white sugar. The monster is white flour. It's going to get you and it's going to hurt you and it's going to make you sick and it's coming after you and you better run from the white sugar and run from the white flour and run from processed foods because they're evil and you're in danger and you might get sick and you could die. And I think that mentality is giving belief to the idea that you can get sick and you can die and that something's going to hurt you. And I think that changes your psychological outlook to the point that it probably screws up your it's kind of like the opposite. It probably screws up your immune system. It's kind of like the opposite of the placebo effect. If you give a person sugar pill and you tell them this is going to make you feel better, and then the next day they go, I feel better, and then the day after that, I think I feel great. These pills are really working. And that's why they use the double blind study when they are trying to approve a new drug or prove the effectiveness. I can't say it. I was going to say a different word. Effectiveness of of a new drug. They do a double-blind study. They give half the people a sugar pill type thing with no ingredients, no active ingredients, and the other half of the people the real medicine, so they can look at the results and see how many of those people felt better because they thought they might be getting medication. The placebo effect. So, having said that, there's still something to be said for eating nutritious food. So I buy 100% whole wheat bread when I buy bread. I don't eat a lot of bread. I do still bake with white flour. I prefer it. Um, I would be nice if I could get all converted over to 100% whole wheat, but I don't like the way it bakes very well. I have had 20 years of failures trying to make 100% whole wheat bread where I grind the or mill the wheat from whole wheat. I've got whole wheat here in the house. I have real grain whole wheat, golden 86 type hard white wheat that can be ground into flour. I think what I've been doing is grinding the flour too fine because I've had 20 years of failures at trying to make 100%. I wanted to know that I could make 100% whole wheat bread and eat it on a regular basis, and I wanted to get in the habit of doing that so there would be no transition to go through if push came to shove and we needed to do that. So the reason I pushed the French bread recipe, and I have been doing that, is because it's a no-fail bread recipe. It makes very tasty bread. Yes, it's not the most nutritious thing in the world. One of the sweet ladies wrote and asked how she could bump up the nutrition on that, and I wrote back and said, you know, you could put some wheat flour in it. There's a number of things you could do to improve the nutrition, but really, what would be better is just to make the French bread now and then and get a good 100% whole wheat recipe and perfect that so that you can make 100% whole wheat bread. The reason that they take the wheat germ out of most whole wheat flour, because the whole wheat flour you buy in the store may not be 100%. It might be a mixture. They may have removed the germ. The reason that it's best to mill your own flour is because then you get the germ in it. It can cause the flour to go rancid pretty quickly because it's got oil in it. Now the oil is all mixed up with the endosperm and the germ. So it's best to freeze that flour and then let it come up to temperature, room temperature, when you get ready to bake it. So that's a kind of a mishmash of a bunch of information, but I believe it's good for you to have 100% whole wheat, unless you go crazy and say, it's going to get me, that white flour is going to make me sick and die, and then you might get sick and die because you believe that you can get sick and die. That's my opinion. We're probably going to start a firestorm of people disagreeing, but that's just my opinion. I think it's better to have whole grain. I think, you know, it obviously is better for your colon to eat whole grain, better for your chances of not getting colorectal cancer if you have lots of the right kinds of fiber in your life, including, uh, what do you call it, bran from whole grain, be it oats, be it wheat, whatever it is you're getting your fiber from. So I kind of talked in circles again. I should not be allowed to do videos this time of day. I really should not be. Should have to make them before noon or after 8 at night in order to make a decent video. This is 8 minutes on whole wheat and white. So yes, I still bake with white flour. I probably will. I probably am going to store more white flour, but in my dreams, I'm making all 100% whole wheat stuff, but I'm just not there yet. So when I get that mystery solved, so why I've been making bread failures for 20 years, I'll get on here and let you know. It's very discouraging to watch other people do it and then I screw it up. But I think it must be grinding the flour too fine. I finally prayed about it. And one of my, like 20 years of screwed it up, I finally said, okay, Heavenly Father, what am I doing wrong here? And one of my friends said that if you grind the flour too fine, it won't work. So I apologize for the content of this video. Thank you. Goodbye.